The media's picks are in, and Alabama, the pick to win the SEC West this year, 33 first-place votes. Florida, a unanimous pick to win the East. The Gators also picked up 63 out of 64 votes to be the SEC champion. The Heisman Trophy on display here in Hoover. Final day of SEC Media Days. Of course, yesterday, Florida's Tim Tebow was here. He won that Heisman Trophy a couple years ago. Now, Antonio Coleman, of course, the former Williamson star and now Auburn star, may not win the Heisman this year, but he's certainly one of the best defensive players in this conference, if not the entire country. The problem is Auburn's defense is depleted from last year, but Antonio thinks they'll be pretty solid this year.
I put a lot on my shoulders last year, but everything falls back on me this year. All the guys look up to me. They respect me as being a defensive leader on this football team.
He's an Auburn man. He loves Auburn, and I hope he just has a rack-em-up senior year.
Well, Coleman came back to have a big senior year, so we'll see if that happens for the former Williamson star on the Plains this year. Now, the Tigers always jacked up for the other Tigers, the LSU Tigers. LSU, though, kind of fell off the radar last year, hoping to get back in the national spotlight this year.
8 victories in a bowl win, a championship bowl experience is not enough, not at LSU. We have greater expectations, greater want. I think there's a little bit more hungry. I think that feeling of disappointment is still there.
Speaking of national spotlight, did anyone make more headlines this offseason than Tennessee's new coach, Lane Kiffin? Well, he was finally here today to address his verbal off-season.
I said my wife last night on the phone was trying to figure out, she said, well, there's 1,000 people there just to hear you guys talk? Like, don't you do anything else? I said, no, we just talk, and 1,000 people listen. She said, well, don't screw up again.
We'll see if the Volunteers do as much talking on the field this year as they have in the off-season. That's a wrap on SEC Media Days in Hoover. Just around the corner, fall camp, and then September we kick it off.